I want to talk real quick, well not even real quick, for however long I sit here and talk, about Square Enix. And I was going to play a little bit of this while I do it. I bought this a while back when they put it on the PS4, and it's probably one of the quintessential RPGs of my youth. They don't make RPG games like this anymore. They don't make these fantastic worlds with these wonderful characters. It feels like these days a lot of things are just going through the motions. You know, Square Enix, they used to make adventures. They used to make these amazing and wonderful epics. I like to compare a lot of old Square Enix RPGs to like Macbeth or Hamlet, because they were just very poetic and epic and unique and adventurous and fantastical. You know, I look at some of these games that were made back when they were like, you know, Squaresoft, Square Enix. Some of these games they made, like fucking Chrono Trigger. Like, nothing's ever going to be better than Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is one of the best games ever made, hands down. And when you look at some like the best Final Fantasy games, you know, you've got 4, you've got 6, you've got 9, arguably 10. There are some problems I have with it, but it's still a pretty damn good game. My favorite Final Fantasy is probably 12, and that one's probably one of the ones that plays the most unconventionally, but I fell in love with that one, I don't know why. But a lot of these older games from the PS1 to PS2 era, we don't really get anymore, and it sucks. Everything today is trying so hard to be some sort of like hack and slash, pseudo RPG active battle, and I don't really need that. I like these old games that had the turn-based combat. Your character's on one side, the enemy on the other side, and you'd have to strategize and plan out your route for attacking, healing, using special abilities, and in some cases fleeing from battle. Most RPGs today is like, oh, you're thrown into an arena, fight for your life. That sucks. I don't like that. That's not enjoyable. You know, there used to be an element of exploration to these games. And yes, I've yet to play 15. I desperately need to get the DLC for 15 and play it already, because I really don't know. But when I look at these older games, there's just a charm about them that I can't really get over. And I just feel like maybe, just maybe, Square Enix doesn't really give a shit about these kinds of games anymore. And it sucks. It really does. And by the way, hot damn, this game looks pretty good. They could have done this with 7. They don't have to turn 7 into the big bloated nightmare they're making it, where they're gonna milk every last inch of your nostalgia for a quick buck. It kind of sickens me. It's just disappointing. It's disappointing because when I think back of these old RPGs, it just... God, it's awesome. Zidane? Yeah, you're Zidane. I made the mistake one time of playing this, and I was playing through it on, I think, the PS Vita, and I named all the characters like emojis, like winky face and angry face and things like this, and I got super far in it, and I was like, this has gotten very retarded with the names, and I stopped and quit playing it. You gotta be careful when you dick around with their names. But I mean, I just don't know what's going on with Square Enix these days, because it seems like everything is just bloated, ridiculous, and I wish they'd make something like this. Like, I really want to play Bravely Default, but I can't find a fucking copy of it. I want something like this, just classic, good, fun RPG. That's why I like the indie scene. It's awesome because with the indie scene, it seems like they're hearkening back to these kinds of games that I'm used to. These turn-based strategy games. And the music. God damn, this game's great. But, I mean, these days, Square Enix mostly just makes... They mostly just make, they mostly make overbloated action RPGs, and that's not why I fell in love with them. You know, it's annoying when I see developers stray too far away from what made you fall in love with them and what made them the big name they are. Like Capcom, they are big because of Resident Evil. And what Resident Evil used to represent was, of course, the fixed camera angles and the good puzzles and the horror. And for a while there, you know, they branched out into fucking third-person shooters, and I played them. They're not horrible games, but they're not good Resident Evils. I'd like to see Final Fantasy go back to being Final Fantasy. I understand that these days they have to accommodate for all the newbies and all the kiddies that are in the gaming industry, but there's a lot of people like me that if they made another game like this, granted it would look way crisper, it would look pretty, but it'd be this isometric RPG style thing. If they made more stuff like this, just imagine how many people would be excited for it. God, these characters look so good now. Holy crap. Look at Zidane's face. He's perfect. Anywho, can you tell I haven't played this yet? I bought it and I haven't played it yet. I should play this. This is not going to be a let's play. This is just going to be a video. But I should play after this. But looking at Square Enix and where they've come, I just really feel like they've lost a lot of what was their spark. You know, like I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 yet, and I don't know if I'm going to. Because part of the reason why I liked Kingdom Hearts is back in the day, Kingdom Hearts was a combination of Final Fantasy and Disney. Two things that I grew up with. Two things that really kind of don't gel together quite as well as you'd want them to, but it's an interesting taste just the same. You know? And it's annoying to me because when we look at what they've done in recent years with Kingdom Hearts, you know, they've bloated it the fuck out. That's what they usually do with these game franchises. They bloat them the fuck out. They have all these, because you can't go from Kingdom Hearts 2 to Kingdom Hearts 3 and know what the fuck is going on. You've missed like 7 goddamn games. And like even between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, there's like I think 3 or 4 games. And it's ridiculous. And like with Kingdom Hearts 3, they don't even have, to my knowledge, I haven't played it yet, but everybody told me there's not really any Final Fantasy characters in it. If any Final Fantasy characters at all. And that makes me not want to play it. That makes me not give a shit about it. That makes me very unexcited for it. Because if I wanted to just play a Disney game, I could just play a goddamn Disney game. But I played Kingdom Hearts because, number one, I liked the characters, you know, Sora, but I also liked, you know, seeing these Disney characters interact with Final Fantasy characters. And I can't get that now. God, this game is amazing. The music's really good. I'm getting a lot of nostalgia. I haven't played this one in years. I should really replay it. Because I've replayed all the others quite a bit, because I got them on my Vita. This one, for some reason, I haven't replayed a lot. I need to go back through it. But I don't know. I just feel like Square Enix doesn't know what they're doing anymore, and have really lost their spark. The same way that, in some ways, Capcom lost their spark. Because back in the day, Capcom were the kings of these, like, you know, really cool, unique games. They had like Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, Onimusha. They had some good shit going down. And these days, they don't. They've got a little bit of Resident Evil, but they only just recently revitalized Resident Evil and even Devil May Cry. You know, hell, that's another one they had. Devil May Cry was fucking amazing back in the day. You know, you got these idiots that are like, oh, I didn't like Devil May Cry 4. Well, yeah, Devil May Cry 4 was a bit of a disappointment, but it was still an amazing game compared to a lot of other hack and slashes at the time. And with Final Fantasy and Square Enix, I mean, just listen to this music. There's nothing in this world that compares with old Final Fantasy JRPG music. The composer back in the day was just fucking genius with these whimsical tunes and moments and characters. It was fucking amazing. And yes, I know, I need to play 15, but I'll be honest, I don't know if 15 has a good soundtrack, and I don't know if it's going to be even comparable to some of this old stuff that I've played for years. It could be, but who knows. But I just feel really disappointed with Square Enix lately. And, you know, like I mentioned in that stupid little rant video, like Final Fantasy VII, they could have done this with Final Fantasy VII. They didn't have to turn Final Fantasy VII into the big clusterfuck that it's going to be, and it is going to be a clusterfuck. Because you're taking this game But I would have bought it. If they had done this right here with Final Fantasy VII, I would have bought it. Like, the characters look crisp, but goddamn, the backgrounds are still kind of rough. But, if they had done this with Final Fantasy VII, I would have been fine. I would have been excited. Hell, I bought this stupid port that is just a PC game on here. But they're turning it into this big, fucking, huge mess. And they're trying to milk the nostalgia. That's what really bothers me. I don't like my nostalgia getting milked. Oh fuck, I haven't played this in forever. Do I just keep going? I don't keep going. Oh shit. I don't like my nostalgia getting milked. I don't like the idea of them taking Final Fantasy and being like, oh, this is gonna be part one in the saga, and it's like, no one cares about the Midgar arc. But Brett, don't you want to see the story get fleshed out for Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse? No, I don't fucking care about Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse. They're meant to die. That's their whole thing. You're not supposed to be super attached to them. I didn't feel bad for them the first time they died. I don't care about these characters, and I won't care about them when they have more polygons. That's not something that matters to me. Like, the good part of Final Fantasy VII, I don't even like Final Fantasy VII, but the part where it gets good is around the time when you leave Midgar and you learn about what happened with Sephiroth. That part is like the pivotal moment of Final Fantasy VII when you're like, oh shit, this is a bad guy and we gotta do something about him. And you wonder what happened and where you go from there and where you can go from there. It's super interesting. Sup? My kitten Mittens ran away. I'll let you know, little dude. Alright. But, I mean, I'm not excited about it at all anymore, because on top of the other industry things that are going to happen with, like, microtransactions and DLC, like, if you don't think they're going to release some DLC, you're an idiot. That's part of why I haven't played fucking 15 yet, is because of the goddamn DLC. Dante the Sun. That's part of why I haven't played it yet, because I want to get the DLC, because, yes, I know, there's like the Gladiolus and Prompto chapters and stuff like that, but there's also other things that I think change the story. I don't know, if you played 15, tell me, if I install it right now and update it, do I get all the extra story bits that they added in after, or is that locked behind the DLC? Because I don't know. I want to get the full breadth of the story. That's important to me, because I actually care about stories and characters. That's why I haven't played it yet. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of the magic of this franchise has been lost. Because I'm so fucking lost. I haven't played this goddamn game in years. Oh man. I feel this is the same fucking room. I feel like a lot of things were lost when the franchise started getting bigger and bigger. Because I have a fucking cart of Final Fantasy. I've got a mint condition Nintendo cart. And, oh wait, the ticket booth. I'm a dumbass. Now I remember. Talk to you and then that other guy runs into me. Oh, poor Vivi. What was I saying? Don't even remember what I was fucking saying. That's right. I've got a cart of Final Fantasy for the NES, and I view it as not just something nostalgic, but some, like, it's a piece of history. It's very important to me. It matters to me. Poor Vivi. God damn. Vivi's got such a hard life. I love Vivi. How much are you gonna hit that fucking thing? There you go. I love these cute little characters. God. There you are, you little bastard. I look at these old games as not just something nostalgic and not something, you know, historical, but like very important, because, you know, looking back at these things, they really do have a lot going on in them. And I feel like these days, a lot of the nuance of Final Fantasy games is lost, because these days you've got these big, flashy, pretty RPGs, and you've got, you know, all these lovely, you know, particle effects, and oh, look at the pretty graphics, and I'm just sitting here like, that bitch got 4 arms. I'm just sitting here like, you know, can we get something that's a little bit more toned down? Because I like these older experiences a hell of a lot more than some of the new ones. Like, I think around the 360 and PS3 area is where RPGs started really getting way, way, way too obsessed with graphical fidelity and things like that. And, oh, hello. Moogle. I love Moogles. These stupid little things. But, you know, I cherish this franchise in a way that I don't know how many other people do, but I know there's a fuck ton of them that do. And that's why I hold on to that Final Fantasy card. Like, I've got so many copies of Final Fantasy. I've got, you know, the Origins Collection discs for PlayStation 1. I've got the little remake that Kevin sent me for the PSP. I've got the downloaded versions of it on my PS3 and my PS Vita. You know, I'm pretty sure, I think there's a Final Fantasy collection on Switch, or there's going to be, and I can buy that shit soon. I buy so many copies of it, and you're like, well, Britt, why do you keep the cart? Because the cart's important. It's important. It matters to me. And these older games really matter to me, and it seems like these days that Square Enix, they don't like their older games anymore. They don't like these games that have this type of communication. Like, everything today is, oh, you know, big fucking voice acted, you know, masterpieces. I don't mind text boxes. Because back in the day, you know, if I did a Let's Play of a Final Fantasy game, you know, I could go over here, you know, oh, and say hi to Mush in the castle for me. You know, you could do the voices, and you could come up with how they sound in your head. Like, the first time I heard Cloud speak was, fuck, I think it was in Advent Children. And I was just like, that's not how I envisioned you sounding. And I feel like sometimes it breaks a little bit of the immersion for you. Like, I remember back in the day, I was arguing with this dude in class. We were teenagers. I think it was middle school. And we were talking about Final Fantasy VII. And he's like, it's pronounced Shinra. And I'm like, it's Shinra. Shinra! And, you know, we were arguing like, his name is Titus. No, it's Titus. No, it's Titus! And, like, the only thing that's good about voice acting these days is you can be like, haha, that's how it's pronounced, bitch. But I like these older games. I like what Square Enix used to do, what they used to make. These games have so much fucking charm to them. And a lot of games they make today don't feel like that. Like, I haven't played I Am Setsuna yet, mostly because I am not paying that much for a digital game that I can't even fucking get physically. Like, if they put that shit, like, if they put that shit on a disc and sold it to me for PS4, I'd buy it. But I'm not real crazy about, I don't want to pay more than $30 for any digital game. I just don't. I fucking don't. Hell, I don't want to pay more than $15. I love you, Vivi. You're the best. I love you so much. I don't want to pay more than $15 for a digital game, but yeah, I haven't played I Am Setsuna because it's too goddamn expensive. And I've heard it's a really neat little callback to, like, sorta to like Chrono Trigger, but not quite. But I don't know. And, you know, I still want to play Bravely Default, but I can't get a goddamn copy of it. And there's just so many things that they make these days that just don't really, in my opinion at least, compare to these classic games. I went the wrong fucking way. Gotta go this way. I haven't played this one forever. Holy crap. But, like, I used to love Square Enix, Squaresoft, all that. I used to, like, really look forward to the things that they would make. But it's not just the situation where, you know, these days they become so bloated and so big and they have to make these big, huge fucking things. Like, Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, yeah, they were made for the PlayStation 1 and it was different times, but they came out, I'm pretty sure, one year after another. You know, it was Call of Duty before Call of Duty was Call of Duty. But these days, you wait for an interminably long time for a game to release. And I feel like a lot of the hype dies down. Like, I remember when Square Enix announced fucking Kingdom Hearts 3, and then, you know, fucking 20 years later, we finally get it, and I'm just not excited for it. Number one, because it's at a point where I'd have to replay the whole saga, which I can if I get that copy on PS4. I'd have to replay the whole fucking saga to know what's going on, and they even took out the Final Fantasy characters for 3, which I don't understand and I can't comprehend. But it's like, I would be so much happier if they were to produce, like, while they're making these big, huge, bloated fucking games, like, while they're making the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I know they're doing 8 Remaster right now, but I'd like a new game. Like, can we get, like, another Final Fantasy Tactics? We haven't had any we haven't had a tactical Final Fantasy in forever. And those games are fucking amazing. Like, not just, oh, I miss the turn-based stuff, I also miss the strategy stuff. It'd be awesome. But they don't make games like that anymore. Poor Garnet. That stupid, evil, fat bitch. Ugh. But yeah, God, I used to be so excited for these games. And I don't get excited like I used to. Like, I find myself replaying the old ones more than anything. Like, when I got my Vita set up, like, when one of my subscribers sent me that Vita, the first thing I really did was download things like Legend of Dragoon, the earlier Final Fantasies, and I just played the shit out of those RPGs. I did play things like Resident Evil and Dino Crisis, but I played those RPGs like a motherfucker. And it really just bothers me how much I miss these old games. Maybe I'm just, you know, an old man set in my ways, but I don't feel like they make these kind of games anymore. I don't feel like these kind of games get attention anymore. It's all about the big, flashy, super amazing, you know, over the top. And I miss, like, these old classic, very Shakespearean, in my opinion, games. It sucks. It really sucks. God, this game looks good. I'm gonna play this. After I'm done with this video where I just bitch about Square Enix, I'm just gonna fucking play Final Fantasy IX again. Because it's been too long. And I think there's trophies in this. I could get trophies playing this, couldn't I? But yeah. I used to love Square Enix. I used to hold them really close to me, like a few other companies. And it seems like these days they don't make a lot that really enthralls me. They don't make a lot that I'm really super excited about. And that sucks. Oh, that music. That's good shit. That's real good shit. I just fucking love these old games. I can't help it, alright? I don't like what Square Enix has become. I miss the old games. That's a big-ass sword, sir. I love that too, where like you sprint across the field, hit me once, and then leap all the way back. The shit's cool to me. I don't care. I love it. Those guys are a lot weaker than I remember. Either that or he fucked him up real good with a heavy hit. Take him out. These old sound effects. I really remember how much I loved these games. And not to harp on their new stuff, like, I'm sure Final Fantasy 15 is great, but I don't feel like, looking at it, it looks really good, and I will play it eventually. Holy shit, you're about dead. I got you. It looks really good, but I don't know if it'll have the same impact on me as these games did. Because I remember, like, the first time I played Final Fantasy VI, and, like, the music and the characters and that evil fucking clown. I remember, like, playing playing Final Fantasy VIII. I'm excited for Final Fantasy VIII because I want to go back through the time compression and fight the ultimate sorceress at the end of existence. That shit was cool. But they don't make games like that anymore. So, yeah, I wanted to play a little bit of Final Fantasy and talk about Square Enix. And it just... This is cute, I love this. Follow blanks lead. Enter the correct commands for the following choices. Sorry, I'm focusing. This is fun. I don't get interactions like this anymore because it's technically a mini game. That's all it is. But it's fun and it's cool, and I don't get this in new games. Because like most Final Fantasies have these moments, like, you know, the opera moments and things like that, and then fucking Final Fantasy IX front loads that shit right at the beginning of the game. 52 were impressed. Fuck Queen Braun. Sure. Do it again. Fuck it. I can get that maxed out. But yeah, I'm gonna focus on this in just a minute. But I wanted to talk about Final Fantasy and Square Enix. And I don't know how you feel. I don't know if you got anything out of this video. If you see where I'm coming from. I'm disappointed in what they do lately versus what they have accomplished in the past. So I hope you got something out of this fucking video. I know I'm hyped to play 9 again, so I think I'll do that, because I think I can get trophies, which will be fun. But yeah, I really love the classic games, and I wish they'd just make something classic, or at the very least make another Tactics. What the fuck? Square Enix, make another Tactics. We got like 2 or 3 of those, and then you stopped. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.